Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of CVC TV's High School Football Game of the Week, presented to you by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. We are live tonight in Brooklyn, Ohio, as the Brooklyn Hurricanes welcome in the visiting Trinity Trojans in a CVC Metro Division matchup. Thank you to everyone who has been patient with us as we are just about ready to start. It's about an hour and a half rain delay, lightning delay, as everyone was asked just before the game started to leave the stadium and go back to their cars. They tried to do senior night tonight, but they're going to have to postpone those festivities till next week. We were going to get fireworks. We were going to get a lot of fun here in Brooklyn, but we still have a football game to play. They are just about ready to kick it off, about a minute away from kickoff. Both teams getting their extra warm-ups in. Kevin Arnold here with you this evening alongside my broadcast partner you've heard most of the season, AA Anthony Alford. AA, this game tonight, playoff implications on the line, not just division and conference implications, but playoff implications, the big storyline here tonight.
Absolutely, and good evening to you, Kevin, and to all of you out there after waiting an hour and a half after official kickoff. So here's the story. You know, we're looking in the expanded playoff field with the OHSAA really starting this year. Top 16 teams in each region gets in. And for Brooklyn, they are right now slotted at number 16 at this moment in Division 5 Region 18. So that's something that's at stake. Trinity actually also has an opportunity to advance into the postseason as well. So this game, Kevin, has a lot to do with who possibly will make the playoffs in their region.
So just about ready to kick things off. Jacob Sullivan, the senior quarterback, has the ball teed up at his 40-yard line, back deep for Trinity. LeJohn Woods and there's like David McMillan back deep as well as a squib kick inside the 30, and it'll be covered up by Trinity down inside the 30, and they will get the ball first at their own 28-yard line, 1st and 10. And Coach Jeff McSweeney and the Trinity Trojans coming in at 1-6, 1-3 in conference play, but still those with the 16 playoff seeds, still with a chance to make the playoffs. And their senior quarterback, Ian Anderson, the school passing leader in school history, will get things started in the pistol formation. A handoff here up the middle, across the 30, and out to the 32-yard line. So a gain of 4 on first down, be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and just getting underway here, it was going to be interesting to see here with both of these teams. When you have a long delay and you're underneath the stadium in the locker room for that long of a period of time, who's really more awake, who's more loose, who's more ready to go? And we're going to see that early on here with both of these teams.
Yeah, Coach McSweeney for Trinity, of course, Coach Tim McFarland for Brooklyn, getting their guys ready and keeping them ready in that locker room. Anderson back deep, running around, seeing a lot of blue shirts in front of him, still on his feet, gets away, and there's space in front of him across the 30. He will get out across the 35, dive close to the 40-yard line. They will mark him just shy of the 40, but it'd give him a first down at about the 39-yard line.
And this is pretty interesting here. Anderson's just going all around. Now, you see some defenders slipping down. Remember, again, because of the rain, you do have wet turf. So not being able to set your feet defensively, Anderson able to get that open space and get the first down.
And Trinity going quick. They huddle up, but they break out of that huddle quick, and they spread them out wide again. 2 receivers to either side of the line. Anderson in the shotgun. Waiting the snap. Snap comes. He will hand it off to Joseph Provitt, who runs across the 40. And good run out to the 42. Another 4-yard gain on first down. And AA, their leading rusher, Caleb Moss, not here this evening. So Joseph Provitt is going to see a lot of action in that backfield for
Trinity. And Provitt, he is a big guy. I mean, 5'9", but 210 pounds listed on the roster. So good luck bringing him down, especially, again, with these wet conditions before. Now, the uniforms are dry, but, again, setting your feet on this turf, these guys going to have to get used to it.
So now Anderson will be flanked on either side by two running backs. And handoff will come to David McMillan, who still on his feet, dancing around midfield. He will finally be taken out of bounds across midfield into Hurricane territory at their 49, and that's another Trojan first down.
Yeah, just getting after it here, and again, just that upfield momentum. And here's the play right here, is just getting all set up. Offensively, just the offensive line getting the push that they need. And then we've been seeing backs for Trinity able to create that space. So how will Brooklyn stop that defensively? They're going to have to figure it out quickly here.
Anderson, handoff again to McMillan, and he's got some space inside the 40-yard line of the Hurricanes. And another first down, gain of 11 down to the 38, and they are chewing up yards on this first drive.
And I love how this young man moves, through and just creates that space, able to get right through it and go. This is a great first drive, at least so far, for Trinity. Again, for a team that only has one win, building that early confidence as they're driving through here.
Something that both teams talked about at CVC Media Day all the way back in August was leadership. And seniors, Ian Anderson, the quarterback, handing off to McMillan, nothing doing there, but something that both senior classes talked about wanting to leave as their legacy, and in a game like this is where that leadership could stand tall.
Oh, absolutely. But I like the last play there for Brooklyn there. I mean, just being able, Hoskins able to get that stop there. And you got to have that momentum there early on. So Brooklyn up front being right at it there.
Trinity staying in the shotgun formation. LeJon Woods was motioned out. They will throw a little end-around wheel route screen, and a flag will be thrown on this play as well, as Brooklyn was out there in the flat ready for that play.
Oh, yes, they were. It's going to be interesting here with 8:21 in the first quarter in this opening drive. And Trinity was moving. And now Brooklyn getting, that call. So we're going to see kind of how the response is going to be for both of these teams. Both teams fighting for an opportunity at the postseason.
So it'll be a loss of 10 back to the midfield stripe, maybe even more. It is second down and 19, 8:13 to go, just underway here in Brooklyn. As we said, we were under a lightning delay for an hour and a half, just kicking off at 8:30. And Ian Anderson not able to escape the pressure that time as he turned around, and right in his face was number 72.
Yeah, Carbello there. And just watch here again. It was going to be interesting here. He gets that pressure going around, and just great play call defensively, just being aware, keeping the quarterback inside the box. And Anderson wanted to go out, but no, not happening at this play. And Trinity again goes backwards, setting up a 3rd and 27, Kevin.
3rd and 27 from their own 42-yard line. 7:23 to go. No score here in Brooklyn. Anderson with the snap. Looking deep, up over the top. He's got a man open and just overshoots LeJon Woods. There was no one between him and the end zone. But Anderson not able to connect. So the penalty and the sack by Carabello pushing Trinity back, and this drive will stall, bringing it up a 4th down and 27. And what looked promising just could not get things together once they crossed into Hurricane territory.
But I will say this, Kevin. Brooklyn was a little bit lucky there, because you got a 3rd and 27. You're telling your defensive backs, you don't need to be up 10 yards. Like, you need to go back. Go back. Go back. And they almost got beat.
Anderson will punt this one away. He will be handling the punting responsibilities. Punting from his own 30. That one will bounce just shy of the Hurricane 20-yard line and goes out of bounds at the 22, the Brooklyn Hurricane 22-yard line. And that is where Jacob Sullivan, the senior quarterback, and this Hurricane offense will get their first shot of the night with 7:07 to go. Still no score here in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Sullivan's going to bring to the table here tonight. as that senior leader. Coming in here today, 464 yards of passing, 33 of 75, 44% completion percentage. He could throw the touchdowns. The key is going to be, for both teams, limiting the turnovers. Also watch, Kevin, Sullivan is a rushing threat as well. So we're going to see how that translates to the field tonight for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, he's the second leading rusher, and Sullivan will take this one himself, and he's got some space in front of him. He is at midfield. Just one man to beat down the sideline, inside the 30, 20, be tackled just out of bounds across the 20-yard line. What a run by Jacob Sullivan to get this drive started. What effort by LeJohn Woods to chase him down, or else that was a touchdown, but Sullivan with a heck of a run.
And here we go, Kevin. I think we undersold the rushing attack for Sullivan and just opening up in stride, but be thankful again to the offensive line, just opening up space. As Sullivan, tall guy, he has to stride. He can just open it up. He makes it look easy just in that one just run. And now, after one play, Brooklyn is in the red zone in their first offensive possession.
6:54 to go. First down and 10 at the Trinity 19-yard line. Jacob Sullivan flanked by Jaden Basinger, who came in as the leading rusher on the team, and he will get the handoff this time inside the 15. Marked knee down right at the 15, gain of 4, second down and 6.
Yeah, and just the rushing attack, just being able to go that 1-2 punch for Brooklyn. Now, what's interesting, today's football, going from 20 to 20s, not as hard. It's the execution in the red zone. And for Brooklyn, I think it's imperative for them. They have to get 7 on this drive right here, especially after their start.
Sullivan takes the snap and will hand off to Basinger again. And he's inside the 10. He's got some space trying to push the pile, driving those legs inside the 5-yard line at the 3. It'll be first and goal, Brooklyn. 6:07 to go, but Basinger effort all over on that run.
And it's smooth, and you like the footwork there. It's nothing sharp, but it's just smooth. He runs light with his feet. You don't see him buried in the turf. It's light, it's smooth, and he gets to his spots however he wants.
First down and goal from the Trinity 3-yard line. Basinger pushing his way, reaching for the goal line, and just down at the 1-yard line. So good stop there on first down by Trinity, but right there, knocking at the doorstep is Brooklyn.
And you even see kind of with that style of just smoothness just going in there. I like to see him lower that shoulder just a tad bit more just to get in there. But again, good attack early on for the Hurricanes here on this second down.
And power I formation on this second down and goal. Sullivan will try to QB sneak, trying to reach the ball out with that big frame, and he does. Reaches the ball across the goal line. Jacob Sullivan for the 1-yard touchdown. Keeper, 5:18 to go. Fireworks go off, and
Where
it
did
is
they come from?
6-0 Brooklyn over Trinity.
We're still doing the fireworks? I don't think we expected that. We just expected it on the field, but we got the fireworks in there as well. But delivering on the fireworks, Sullivan in that big run early on in that drive, and Brooklyn going right down the field, set up by their defensive stop on their previous possession. Brooklyn now up 6-0.
So Sullivan is on to attempt the extra point as well. Jaden Basinger with the hold, and a line drive kick. A flag comes out. Ball kick is no good. We'll wait the call on the field. Both teams already starting to walk off. Brooklyn kind of taking a step back to see what the call is.
I believe the flag's going to be picked up.
Yep, picking up the flag. So the extra point is no good, but the touchdown is. And Brooklyn telling us on the broadcast, the heck with your metaphors of fireworks. We're going to give you literal fireworks.
Yes.
Every single time we hit a big play or scoring play here tonight. So with 5:18 to go in the first quarter, it is Brooklyn 6, Trinity nothing. Now, we want to thank our presenting sponsor of CVC TV here this evening. That is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery with their doctors, Keith Schneider, Jill Weber, Jacqueline Tomsick, and, of course, the CVC commissioner himself, Dr. Don Lewis. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, as well as trauma reconstruction. For all your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. That's www.ohsurgery.com. We thank the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of their support, the Chagrin Valley Conference, CVC TV, and these great student athletes out there on the gridiron here this evening. Brooklyn teeing it up. Sullivan again into the ball across the ground, and it'll be picked up by an up man across the 25, across the 30, and still on his feet, pushing towards the 40-yard line. Good effort. Quincy Haynes on that return. And you can see, AA, the intensity, the focus coming out of the locker room. Yes, they sat there for an hour and a half, but both teams know the implications in this game, and they were not going to give away this opportunity here tonight.
Well, with games like this, you always wonder, okay, how's that first drive going to go? How's that first drive? Because nobody knows exactly how to react in delay situations like this. So Trinity had a hot start, and then it got stalled, and then Brooklyn took advantage. So we're going to see how Trinity responds.
Ian Anderson will hand off to LeJon Woods on the jet sweep, trying to get away, and he will not. May have gained a yard. And it'll be 2nd down and 9. Woods slow to get up for Trinity, one of their big-time athletes, skill position players that they've relied on all season long.
Yeah, this is huge right here, Kevin, and just for Trinity. And hopefully it's nothing bad at all here. You know, as you say each and every week, we want to make sure everyone's safe, on the field. But this certainly for Trinity, obviously, you don't want to see this at all.
Don't want to see this at all. Training staff out to attend to LeJon Woods. Like you said, AA, say it every single week. So honored and privileged with the medical staffs that are and medical systems we have here in Northeast Ohio that are able to supply the best of the best to all of these schools throughout Northeast Ohio and the state of Ohio overall. So we send our best to LeJon Woods as he is being helped up, and he is going to walk off under his own power. Little assistance from one of the athletic trainers, but good to see him up on his feet.
Yes. One thing to keep track, though, I am a bit concerned, and it's a turf field, so you can't really do anything about it. But because of the weather conditions, and not just here, but all across Northeast Ohio, because of the rain and the storms that have gone by in all of our stadiums here, the footing and the cleats, they're going to need to be extra sharp. And sometimes that's not the case. With some kids, it's just not. So the footing, even on turf, is going to be critical at this game and all across Northeast Ohio tonight.
Yeah, I want to touch on that here in just 1 second, but Trinity back out for 2nd down and 9. Anderson back to pass, got his man, Rashawn Prince, and quickly tackled in the flat. Getting up out of that tackle, looks like Omarion Smith, one of the first there, not allowing Prince to escape, and only a gain of 3, so it'll be 3rd down and 6, 4:25 to go. Brooklyn already leading 6-0.
And that's how you pursue to the football. I mean, sometimes it is good. Just get that contact there, just like, how Smith did, and let your teammates, we talk about all 11 hats to the football. That's what that is. You get right to it, and you create that opportunity.
In the pistol formation now is quarterback Ian Anderson, with Provitt standing right behind him. And he'll move him up right to his hip, and a flag thrown. Maybe a delay of game or a false start. There was movement as they had already set. Anderson was trying to move It was actually David McMillan in that backfield with Anderson. He was moving him up, and then all of a sudden, a flag comes out. Early movement, so a loss of 5. So it's back to a 3rd down and 10, right where this drive started.
And Trinity's not on the same page offensively there in that play.
Anderson, a quick throw to Prince, and that goes in and out of his hands. And quickly, a 3 and out for Trinity. A good throw, but Prince just not able to hang on. They had the right read.
And that's been the problem, Kev, I mean, even these last couple of plays here is just you got an offense currently, loads of talent, just not in sync, from the play calling standpoint to their alignment on the field. You don't have guys that's on the same page. That detonated the drive there for Trinity.
So Anderson will punt this one away, standing at his 27-yard line, off to Basinger and Oscar Lewis. They let it bounce right between them. Basinger will pick this up, try to run this one back, and good coverage down the field. A guy that we're going to call defensively all night long, now playing on special teams, Michael Miles. A heck of a play, not allowing Basinger any sort of room to get going.
Yeah, absolutely. Not able to get going there. I know, Kev, real quick, you wanted to touch on the footing aspect here.
Well, and you kind of talked about how the rain came down. The rain came down in bunches in a hurry, too. And you look at these synthetic artificial turf fields that are more prominent now in the Northeast Ohio area. It's already a slick surface as it is, but you can kind of see, even in the middle of the field between the hashes, how you can see almost like a glossy type look to it with how much rain came down and how it hasn't been able to kind of drain just yet. So that footing is going to be key, but good footing there on 1st and 10 for Jaden Basinger, who goes out of bounds at the 19-yard line. So a good gain of 5 on 1st down.
And remember, too, even with the weather delay is really just for lightning.
Yep.
You can play through rain. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the snow word, but you can play through that. So even once the lightning stopped, you still had a little bit of drizzle coming down, and it was a lot there. So you do see it on our screen here, the slickness like you was just talking about in the middle of the field, Kevin.
Yep. Basinger will take this one, trying to get back outside those hashes, across the 25 out to the 26. So these last couple plays, Brooklyn kind of trying to use the outer edges of this field. Don't know if that's the weather condition or condition of the field or just kind of what they're seeing in this Trinity defense.
But I'll say this, though. If you have a field like this, obviously, it does favor the forward running of the offense. And Brooklyn's, in the last drive and so far in this drive, have taken full advantage of running downhill. And with a field surface like this is the right way to go about your business.
Jacob Sullivan will hand this one off and be tackled in the backfield, a loss of 1. That was Anthony Starr on the carry, but Trinity's defense coming through and getting a stop.
Yeah, and I know you want to kind of switch things up. You're fine going downhill. In this case, there was so much going on in the backfield, and when you have that going on, then the defense becomes the aggressors, and you're able to read it immediately, and that's exactly what happened with Trinity. Was able to identify it. There was a lot happening in the backfield. They got right into it and made that defensive play.
2:15 left in the first quarter. Brooklyn faced with a 2nd down and 11 from their own 25-yard line, leading 6-0 over visiting Trinity. Senior captain quarterback Jacob Sullivan will take the snap, looking to pitch to Jaden Basinger. He's got a little bit of space, avoiding a tackle out across the 30, out to the 32. So getting that yardage back and making this a more manageable 3rd down. Looks like it'll be a 3rd down and 4 or 5.
And we're going to have a holding call, though, Kev. That's going to bring it back. And for Brooklyn, that's not that's not something you look forward to in this case. I'll say this, though, if that was a spot foul. I'll say this for Trinity. Your linebackers are going to have to read those guards. We're going to have to come right downhill and make those plays. And with that option play, that kind of happened there even despite the holding on Brooklyn. So you kind of add that on, something to build on for the Trinity defense.
So the hold will bring them back to a 2nd down and 21, a situation that Trinity's defense would like to take advantage of. Basinger on the carry, and he is going nowhere. Gain of a half a yard out to the 16 maybe. It'll be a 3rd and forever for Brooklyn here deep in their own territory. Trinity looking to get some good field position if they can get this stop.
Well, we talk about a game that has a bunch of playoff storylines. This is a playoff situation for both of these teams. You have the holding penalty. You're buried deep here. So how do you respond and overcome it? And how do you execute doing that? How do you do that going through the air? I mean, it's going to be critical to see how Brooklyn responds in a situation like this in a game where if they win, they're in the driver's seat to advance to the postseason.
So we tick under 70 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Jacob Sullivan in the backfield, and he just spikes that one at the feet of Basinger. Incomplete. Clock stops with 1:03 to go, and Brooklyn is going to have to punt deep in their own territory. Trinity getting that defensive stop they were looking for.
Yes, they do there, and that's Robinson Carter, one of their leaders there, number 50. We saw him at Media Days back in August. Very charismatic young man, but he is one of their leaders, and you're going to see him all over the defensive line and making plays, and that's exactly what happened there with Trinity.
Yeah, Kayvon Robinson Carter, one of their returning all-conference defensive linemen, leading the team in sacks with 5 on the season. This punt from Sullivan goes high up into the air and goes out of bounds. Interesting to see where they marked this one. Ball landed in line with the 45, and they will mark it right there at the 44-yard line of the Brooklyn Hurricanes. So Trinity will get a chance to start this possession in Hurricane territory. Best starting field position of this opening quarter for Trinity.
And I'll say this, our CVC TV crew right on it there, being able to get that spot. I will say at some point, if the officials are unsure about where the spot is, just come up here, booth, we'll figure it out for you.
Yeah, take a look at our monitor right in front of us.
Yeah, we'll figure it out for you.
Peter Tillett, David Sommerfeld Jr. on the production tonight. We got our camera guys giving us great angles. That is Jim Wagner and Mike Allen. And, of course, Kevin Arnold up here in the booth alongside AA Anthony Alford for this CVC Metro Division matchup here, as we said, on CVC TV, presented by the Ohio Center for Oral Facial Implant Surgery. Trinity in possession, 1st and 10 at the Brooklyn 44-yard line. 56 seconds left in the first quarter, and that is movement along the offensive line. Looking like Xavion Biggs with the movement. Looked like he was trying to communicate to his offensive lineman, but coming out of his stance too much as he was communicating the change in the play.
Yes, he was, yes, and that's critical here going up against the Brooklyn defense. They run a 4-2-5 defense, so it's a defense that you kind of see a little bit in high school, but it's not easy to block against, the 4-2-5.
Ian Anderson looking at a show of some pressure maybe coming from Brooklyn. They back out of it, and the handoff goes nowhere. May have gained a half a yard. That is Joseph Provitt again filling in for Caleb Moss. So 40 seconds left.
Yeah, and Andrew Flowers is in there as well there, number 52. And, again, in that 4-2-5 defense, you saw 3 guys showing blitz. You don't know who's coming. So for Trinity, how do you defend? How do you block against that? Same deal here, pre-snap.
Anderson with the snap, looking to his right. He's got some space in front of him now. He will take off, cut up the middle, inside the 45, down to the 42-yard line. So on 2nd and 14, he gains 6, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 8. Trinity looking to go quick.
Yes, good open field tackle, though, by Anthony Starr. Otherwise, that's a much bigger play for Trinity.
Trying to get one more play before the end of the quarter. They will not get that last play off, so we hit triple zeros here in the first quarter. Brooklyn with a 1-yard touchdown run from their quarterback, Jacob Sullivan, and they lead 6-0 over Trinity. Coming out of this first quarter break, Trinity will be faced with a 3rd down and 8 in Brooklyn territory. But before we get to the second quarter action, we also want to thank our other partner of the Chagrin Valley Conference. That is FRST, First Response for Sports Trauma Course and Physician Ambulance, was a proud partner of the Chagrin Valley Conference. Through this important partnership, FRST has helped prepare our first responders on the sidelines and throughout the league to consistently and expertly respond to trauma on the field of play. Thank you to Physicians Ambulance and FRST for keeping our CVC community safe. For more information about this partnership, visit ChagrinValleyConference.com. That's ChagrinValleyConference.com. And AA, what else can people do when they get over to ChagrinValleyConference.com?
Boy, they can check out all the content from all the fall sports so far. And you got winter sports coming up as well. So definitely a lot of cool things you can check out on the ChagrinValleyConference.com website. And you can watch all the replays as well. So if you did miss, one of our games or you want to see it again, you go right there to ChagrinValleyConference.com. Also the CVC TV YouTube page as well. We thank you all for joining us here tonight.
So Trinity sprinting out of their quarter break huddle, and they will come out in a pistol formation. McMillan behind Anderson, the quarterback, and movement along that offensive line again as the defensive line was adjusting, and they will call a false start. The defense not entering that neutral zone. They were able to confuse that offensive line enough and get them out of their stance.
This is incredible here. See the official. Well, when you're out there on the field as they make that official as a false start, when your teammates start walking backwards, you're trying to determine who did what, and then you just know, okay, it was me. I'm just gonna go back there, 5-10 yards, and go from there. Again, Trinity trying to get on the same page. That's been a problem since midway through the first quarter.
And they are faced with from a 3rd and 8 to a 3rd and 13. Just underway here in the second quarter. Trinity trailing 6-0 to Brooklyn. Anderson looking left, looking right, and he will go down again back at his own 45-yard line. Another sack for this Brooklyn defense that came in with 16 sacks on the season.
Look at this here. Just setting your feet there. And again, not being over-aggressive, just setting your feet there. Now, in the future, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to have to be because we watch NFL football. You know where I'm going with this, Kev.
Yep.
You cannot flex in front of your offensive player like that. Certain officials will call a penalty, in that situation. So you got to be careful with that, but otherwise, great play.
So Anderson will punt this one again away to Oscar Lewis, and the ball is loose as it hit off Davis, Oscar Davis. But the Hurricanes able to jump back on that fortunate bounce off of this turf. But Brooklyn with a big defensive stand with their 18th sack.
And again, that's just not being able to make the catch there on the punt there. He admitted responsibility right away. It was like, it's on me. It's not going to happen again. So it's like, my bad. Let's just move on to the next play there. So and he's back out there. So that's what you do. That's what you do there, Kev.
Yeah, Oscar Davis, a junior, being backed up by his senior captain quarterback, Jacob Sullivan, was able to pick that ball up and keep possession for Brooklyn. The sack on that last defensive stand went to Jackson Diller for Brooklyn. That was a loss of 8, and now Brooklyn with a chance to get their offense back on. But Michael Miles coming through for another tackle for loss this season.
And he went in untouched, Kev. I mean, right there on the replay there, it's just slipped right through, just slipping in there and just getting that big open field tackle in the backfield.
Already a guy coming in with 45 tackles on the season, 30 solo, and he also has 2 INTs this year, a guy that's going to flash on film and somehow got through untouched.
He did, and that's just, again, showing that pressure. And you know where you have to go. You have one job, and you got right to it.
So a loss of 5, now 2nd and 15 at their own 17. And flags fly again. A lot of yellow laundry on the field in this first half. So the clock stops with 10:19 to go. And actually a timeout was taken by Trinity Looks like they're first of the half. So timeout Trinity, 10:19 to go. Brooklyn leading 6-0. An opening possession for Brooklyn, 1-yard touchdown run by quarterback Jacob Sullivan. Missed extra point has us here at 6-0 with 10:19 to go in the first half. And before teams come back out of this timeout, again, thank you to our presenting sponsor, CVC TV. That is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. This year's title sponsor of CVC TV with their practice diagnosing and treating your facial pain, injuries, offering you a full range of dental implants, bone grafting procedures. We said it before, we'll keep saying it all night long. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of those oral and cosmetic surgery needs. Their website again, www.ohsurgery.com. That is www.ohsurgery.com. Coming out of this timeout, Brooklyn faced with a 2nd down and 15 at their own 17-yard line after the false start penalty. So 10:19 to go, still leading 6-0. Thank you to everyone tuning in on CVC TV tonight, whether on SugarandValleyConference.com or the CVC YouTube channel. All the fans of Brooklyn Trinity or just high school football, high school athletics in general, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Jacob Sullivan, the quarterback, with the snap, looking up over the top, had a man with a step, but pass goes short behind him. He was intending that for Oscar Davis, just not able to get that up over the top.
Yeah, and in a situation like that, let's just be real. Trinity essentially sent that all-out blitz there, and you want the hot receiver to be right there, ready to go there, just to make the job a little bit easier for the quarterback, and that just did not happen there. So a tough play there. It wasn't a turnover, so you do give that, to Brooklyn, but you would like to see a hot receiver there if next time Trinity sends out an all-out blitz.
3rd and 15 for the Hurricanes, their own 17-yard line. Now 10:13 to go, second quarter. Sullivan will take this one himself and out across the 30-yard line. He needed to get to the 32, it looks like. He's close to a first down, depends on the spot. We may get a measurement here. Looks like the referee here on the near side, near us, is calling 4th down. So it'll be 4th down and yard maybe to go deep in their own territory. Interesting call here from Coach McFarland and the Brooklyn Hurricanes.
Yes, it is. And look, this is 2021, so if they go for it, it wouldn't be surprising. But I like this call here. You're playing field position at this stage. If you're Brooklyn, you put trust in your defense. It's still early in the second quarter, so punt the football and play that field position football game right now. Especially, you're still leading, so you play that field position game.
So Jacob Sullivan will punt this one away for standing at his own 19-yard line. Back deep is Aiden Duncan standing at his 35. This one will roll inside the 30, and Duncan will just let it roll out of bounds at the 28-yard line. So Trinity's defense standing tall. We talked about in our pregame show out there on the field. Well,
about 4 hours ago, you could watch the full Titanic movie after that pregame hit.
But we were. That's true. I mean, we were out. We had a production meeting out in the parking lot.
Yes, we did.
Trying to avoid the monsoon that was coming down. But in that conversation before the game, we talked about how both of these defenses have been the starting point, the electrifier of energy and momentum for both of these teams all season long.
Yes, we did. And it's just one of those critical things where you maintain, don't turn the football over. And I think the focus for both of these teams, and we've had near scares, with the muffled punt and those kind of things. Let's see who's the best team without turning the football over.
So Anderson handing this one off to McMillan, and right back at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd down and 10, 8:48 to go in the first half. Trinity trying to get on the board, trailing 6-0.
Yeah, it's a good old-fashioned football game here. And, again, when you get late in the season, also what we mentioned in that pregame hit, there's not a lot of new plays being installed at this point. You're going with your strengths. You're rolling your sleeves like this is what we do best. I find this interesting here, though, Kevin. Trinity going 4 wide here.
Anderson with the snap, a low snap at his feet, able to collect with the throw, and not able to connect there. He was looking for Christian Horvath. Looked like he was looking for him to kind of cut out. Horvath was cutting in, and that one falls to the turf, incomplete. 3rd down and 10, just like that.
Yeah, and again, just Trinity just trying to get on the same page there. And it's going to be interesting. You know, their halftime is going to be very interesting. Meanwhile, Brooklyn, defensively, going to keep everything in front of you, but I do like how the front 7 is attacking and at least creating pressure, forcing Trinity to try to spread them out.
And again, they'll go 4 wide. Trips here to the near side. Pistol formation. Anderson untouched. He will be sacked again. Oscar Davis coming right through untouched for another sack, the 3rd of the night for Brooklyn.
And let's find out here, Kev, what pretty much happened. Oh, my goodness, what a move. But the front there is just slipped by there. And, again, just fundamentals there up front. You know, just getting that shoulder, one of those, like, you know, shoulder moves. And right there, defensively, Brooklyn making the stop, and they're going to get the football right back.
And expecting good field positions. They have Basinger and the sack getter Davis standing just inside the midfield stripe. Basinger right at midfield. Anderson with a off the side of his foot punt sidewinder, and it just rolls sideways out of bounds. But Brooklyn is going to get great field position at the Trinity 44-yard line. 7:19 to go. Brooklyn leading 6-0. And AA, it's been kind of a war of attrition since that opening drive from Brooklyn. Trinity got the ball first. Brooklyn got the stop. And then Brooklyn goes right on down. A big run by Jacob Sullivan to start that drive off, and he finishes it with the 1-yard touchdown run. But since then, defense has been the name of the game.
It really has been. And I'm interested to see if Brooklyn decides to utilize Sullivan more on the ground as this game progresses.
Sullivan back to pass. He will run this one now, looking with space in front of him. He's inside the 30. Spin move inside the 30-yard line, down to the Trinity 29-yard line. He was looking downfield, didn't see anything, and just took off.
I think Sullivan's just made the decision himself there. Look at how he's just running. Now, one thing, though, and again, it's going to – you're killing the party once again. You cannot hold the football that loosely, you know, and I get a little bit concerned about that if you're Brooklyn. If you got that football way out there, you know, right there in the pocket, somebody's going to come by and just strip that thing down. So keep that football in there, but otherwise, smooth running the football once again. He made that decision. It was quick, efficient, and got the first down.
Sullivan just glides up and down this turf field here at Brooklyn. This time he'll pitch to Basinger, who will be stopped in the backfield. Loss of 3 back to the 33-yard line. Actually, a loss of 4, 6:29 to go. But a big play happens, and then big play for defense right after.
And look who's in there again defensively there. Robinson Carter, again for Trinity, right back in there once again making those plays. And every time Brooklyn has that design option play, you know, he's right there. The young senior defensive lineman is right there ready to make the stop.
So they have it as a 2nd down and 14 on the board. Sullivan back to pass looking for Davis. And again, that one falls short as he's kind of throwing those deep balls off of his back foot, not stepping in to the throw.
Well, when you're under pressure, you can't really do anything you want ideally. But again, another situation we saw in the last possession. You would like to see a receiver, you know, run across the middle there in some way, shape, or form. Make the job a little bit easier for Sullivan. But Trinity, they're going to keep bringing the pressure until Brooklyn proves that they could beat it over the top.
Yeah, Brooklyn only coming in with 465 yards passing, 121 per game. Rushing yards, though, 934, 186 yards a game. So run has been what Brooklyn wants to do. But this time, Sullivan goes down in the backfield. Kayvon Robinson-Carter and a host of Trinity defensive linemen coming through for that sack, giving Brooklyn a dose of their own medicine.
And this is ideal defensive football. You saw in that replay there, couldn't go outside. You have that containment right there. Force the action back in the pocket. When you do that, you have, just like what Kevin just said, a herd of defenders ready to make the play, and that's exactly what happened there.
So a loss of 3, 4th down and 17 now. Ticking second quarter clock. We have ticked down to 5:15 to go. Still with the score, Brooklyn 6, Trinity nothing. And Brooklyn coming out looking like they're keeping their offense on the field, but a timeout will be taken by Coach McFarland and the Brooklyn Hurricanes. They're first of the half. They will be left with 2 as well. So 5:07 to go, and Brooklyn with that 6-0 lead. And thank you again, everyone tuning in on CVC TV. We've talked about our sponsors already this evening, but if you are interested in sponsoring CVC TV or any element of ChagrinValleyConference.com, you can reach out right there at the website. More information there. You can get in touch with Steve Hare, the information director for the CVC. And like Double A told you before, so much other content on ChagrinValleyConference.com. A great element, a great thing done by Steve Hare, who also runs OhioVarsity.com. He has been an integral part of putting a spotlight on student athletics, high school athletics here in Northeast Ohio for a long time. And by doing it here for the Chagrin Valley Conference, a big conference, one of the better conferences here in Northeast Ohio and the state of Ohio overall, all of these student athletes getting a chance now to have the spotlight, whether it's football, soccer, cross country, volleyball, all of the different sports, even as we get into the winter. So thank you to Steve Hare for everything he has done and for the opportunity to bring CVC TV to you guys starting last season and continuing on in here in 2021 as we get back to full season play and we get back to action. Sullivan on 4th and 17. Brooklyn's going to go for it. He's looking downfield, and he will not get away. Holding on to that ball, trying to make a play downfield on 4th down, but coming out of that pile again, Robinson-Carter making the play, staying home, and getting Sullivan to the ground.
And I think it's fair to call that a coverage sack as well. I mean, nobody got open, nobody was able to get open, and the DBs for Trinity was able to contain their guys. Now, if you're like, why do you go for it there on that 4th down? Looking at where you're at in the football field, probably not going to punt. It's really a difference of 15 yards if you decided to punt. So might as well give it a shot there.
And it's a great area. Neither team has attempted a field goal in the season, so you're not going to be doing that. And it's that plus territory that why not go for it? You've deep enough. It's almost still like a punt for you, but you'd like to see to get some yards there. McMillan on this carry, he gets away from a few defenders out across the 45, out to the 49, just shy of midfield, and he will move the sticks on 1st down, a gain of 12 on 1st and 10.
Watch this run here. This was a very patient football run right here. Toss plays are tricky because you just don't know how they're going to develop. It takes a while to develop. But a couple of missed tackles, he knew where he had to go, got out of bounds, and it was a very patient run where he let the blockers develop and was able to get the 1st down midfield.
So they do push that ball out to midfield. Anderson looking back at his coach, Jeff McSweeney, looking for the play. A little miscommunication there, but they have it, and they break huddle.
And run quickly to the line.
As the play clock was running down as they looked to the back judge, and Coach McSweeney will wisely take a timeout with 4:41 to go.
Oh, boy.
Brooklyn leading 6-0, but Trinity trying to capitalize on the defensive effort they are getting from their defense on the other side, being led by that senior captain, Kayvon Robinson-Carter.
That young man is an absolute beast. I mean, just being able, just creating his own impact. And he talked about it from the season. He mentioned, he's like, look, I can get off the ball quickly. I can go and fly off of the ball. He was talking about that during the media day. It's like, and he's quoted here as saying, very fast off the ball, looks to hit the quarterback every play, and they want to be a physical team. And it starts with him. And defensively, that's what Trinity's been able to bring to the table thanks to his leadership.
So, and again, we said in the first quarter, leadership is the word of the night for both of these schools, because that is what both of these schools preached about legacy. We'll get back to that here in just 1 second. Anderson under center, trying to go with a hard count. He will snap now back to McMillan, and he will be just dragged down from behind. Had space in front of him, but a good one-arm tackle to bring him down after a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, take a look right there. Interesting run. He's just going upfield there. He could have had a huge gain there on that play.
And lucky for Brooklyn to get that shoulder pad and not that hand inside the back of the shoulder pads around the neck area. So good tackle nonetheless. Anderson will go back under center, and again, movement. And the hard count is doing more against Trinity than it is to help them in yards on their drive.
I think the other thing too, Kevin, is again, you don't know from Brooklyn who's blitzing. You don't know who's going to actually follow through with the blitz there in their 4-2-5 defense. And Trinity's having a hard time figuring that out offensively.
So from 2nd and 6 to 2nd down and 11. McMillan in the backfield behind Anderson. He will get this carry again, and a good cut trying to break away. He does. He's inside the 35, inside the 30. He's got green grass in front of him. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Trinity. David McMillan, 49 yards on 2nd down and 11. 3:53 to go. Trinity ties this ball game at 6.
But here's the thing, though. When you do figure it out, if you have a defender blitzing and they get sucked in, just like right here, you have your blockers open it up and then you just break a few tackles and you are off to the races. Trinity on the board with an opportunity to take the lead.
And McMillan just getting to that second level quickly on that drive each and every single time he touched that football, and then just bouncing off defenders, spinning off defenders. And once he got past the defensive backfield, as they attempt the 2-point conversion, as they do most often, and McMillan finishes it off. And just like that, Trinity, who has been stopped all night long, takes an 8-6 lead. 3:53 to go in the half.
And look at how it happened. You had a low snap, you had the high pitch there, and it's one of those crazy formations. And I say crazy because the way that it's lined up with the extra point is like, okay, where do you line our defenders for special teams? What's weird though, Kevin, almost every high school football team runs that formation. They run that formation. It's just tricky whether or not you're going to run out of it or you're going to collapse and come together there. But Trinity, using some trickery, getting a score and 2 points, and they're up 8-6.
And as we said, David McMillan just electrifying this Trinity offense, getting them back in the ball game. And on one drive, they take the lead. And that 2-point conversion that you were just talking about, AA, we haven't really seen that. You see it a lot across high school football and some of the younger ranks because maybe limited kicking game. But we saw that the last time. It hasn't been until, I think, week 4 at Cuyahoga Heights. They kind of set that up on their extra point attempts all the time.
Yes, they did.
But most often, they're taking the extra point out of that. Trinity, they've attempted 7 extra points on the season. Ryan Trent is their usual kicker, and he will kick off here, number 57, out there on the field. He only attempted 7 extra points, been 3 of 7 on him, so why not go for 2 and try to get those playoff points that you can gather here tonight? Trent kicks it down to Brooklyn, and good return, but Kayvon Robinson-Carter is right there to stop that return in its tracks. Anthony Starr had some turf in front of him, but every time you look up, number 50 is there to make the play. He is balling here tonight.
Yes, absolutely. Every single time, you get that opportunity. And again, he, coming into this game, 42 tackles. He is the leading sack leader, for Trinity with 4. He has 5 tackles for losses for the team coming into tonight. So, again, stepping up on special teams as well.
So now Brooklyn will come out 1st and 10 at their own 38, now trailing 8-6. Basinger on the carry across the 40, out to the 43-yard line. Gain of 5 on first down, 2nd and 5.
And this is what they need to do, Brooklyn. No more messing around. Just go right up the gut. Just run the football up the gut. You don't need to do any other specialties. Because defensively, Trinity is reading, the guards. If you're messing around too much in the backfield, they will get to you. Brooklyn, you have the advantage being able to utilize your offensive line, go right up the field with the running attack.
Sullivan in the backfield. Basinger flanking him on his right hip. 2 receivers here near side, 1 far side, and a fumble on the play. Dropped snap by Sullivan, but wisely just falls on it. And that'll be a loss back to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, and here's what happened here. It's just a mishandle, miscommunication. And now we're talking Brooklyn now, not being on the same page, on the offensive side of the football.
Feeling good on this Brooklyn sideline for most of this first half. And in one drive, David McMillan has kind of sucked the air out of the Brooklyn sideline and taken that energy over across the field to Trinity. So now 3rd down and 11, 2:18 to go. Trinity 8, Brooklyn 6. Brooklyn with the ball at their own 37-yard line. Sullivan with the snap, and he'll take it himself across the 40, over the 45, leaps over a defender across midfield to the 48 of Trinity, and Sullivan continuing to make the play when Brooklyn needs it most.
He's the fastest guy in the field. He runs downhill. Good luck stopping him. Before he gains a bunch of yards and gets the first, again, shows his speed, and before you know it, he's 10, 15 yards down the field.
And makes it look so easy with those long strides up the field.
All short people are jealous of that comment, by the way, making it look easy on the tall strides.
Some people just have the longer legs. Some people got that quick speed, those quick feet. I know I never had quick feet or could use my long legs to my advantage at all times. So, sometimes I'm jealous even of people that look like me but play a lot better than I could.
They square your feet, just just go,
Gain of 7 on first down. 2nd down and 3. Basinger with the ball again. And a good stop right there at the line of scrimmage. Looks like Krishawn Price coming through to make that tackle at the 39. They'll give him 1, so a 3rd and 2 now for Brooklyn. 1:09 and a ticking second quarter clock as we get close to halftime.
Yeah, so at this point now, if you're the Hurricanes, it's pressure cooker time. You got to kind of move here. But, they're at a decent pace here, but again, it's going to have to go quick now because you're at 50 seconds.
They got 2 timeouts left, looking to get this first down to continue this drive, then start using those timeouts and a quick screenplay. And ball is on the turf.
Oh, my goodness.
My goodness. Michael Miles coming through, not allowing Anthony Starr any sort of room, any sort of chance to get upfield with that. And a loss on the play back to the 43. Loss of 4, so now it'll be a 4th down and a timeout Trinity with 37 seconds left, leading 8-6.
So what's interesting there, my app was on there. What was interesting on that play, you just saw it on the replay, that was ruled a catch and a fumble. And here it is again. And this play was ruled a catch and a fumble. Now, if replay and actual, was actually a thing here, I would actually think that was an incomplete pass. But it was ruled a catch and a fumble, so you lose that yardage there, on that play, and a timeout had to be used as opposed to an incomplete pass.
And a bang-bang type play where it looked like Starr was starting to go sideways. Weren't sure if he really had a chance to establish any sort of football move before Michael Miles was on top of him. But, again, we have the advantage of replay. No replay here in Northeast Ohio and Ohio High School Athletic Association football, so we go with the call on the field. It is a loss on the play. So now a 4th down and 6 instead of what could have been a 4th down and 2, making the decision to go for it a little easier, but they still will go for it here with 37 seconds left.
And I want to make it clear real quick that if we were on the field, we would probably call it the same thing.
So Sullivan running around, getting away from a defender, looking deep, and throw incomplete. He was looking for Davis again. And again, low throw, making Davis to go down to the turf, not able to scoop that one up. So another turnover on downs for Brooklyn.
But the one thing, at least he came back to the football a little bit. I would like to see some of these receivers in a play like that find an open space, come back, work with the quarterback. The quarterback's trying to make a play. Like, he's openly running around, trying to make the play, and your receiver, you got to come back to the football. You got to find that open space and say, hey, I'm there, I'm Dave. Don't give up on the play. You know, if you want this postseason, you want to make this happen, you got to fight for that football, fight for that spot, come back to it, work with Sullivan to make it happen.
So Trinity will take over. 2 timeouts left, 29 seconds left. And the leading passer in Trinity High School football history, Ian Anderson, back at the helm. Fakes the handoff and now will throw. But, again, another pressure in his face, thrown off his back foot, not able to get enough on that screen to the touchdown maker and 2-point maker, David McMillan. So it falls to the turf, 24 seconds left, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it does there. And again, because that was an incomplete pass, you know, Trinity can take their time. So can Brooklyn. You know, take their time, find the defensive assignments, especially considering how quickly Trinity goes to the line. So Brooklyn could be right there, be ready for it.
Pistol formation with that trips to the left side, far side of the field. Anderson complete out in the left flat.
Stayed in bounds, Kevin.
In bounds and shy of midfield. That on the catch, that was Aiden Duncan. And we are under 10 seconds left. Trinity leading. And
Brooklyn's DBs need to go back.
Anderson's going to have to throw this one deep. Flag will fly, most likely holding on the offensive line. Anderson still running around trying to make a play, and he will just slide down back at his own 34-yard line. Clock hits triple zeros. The flag most likely won't matter. Brooklyn getting a stop. Looked like they had timeouts for Trinity. Coaches up here in the booth were clapping their hands trying to get them to get the play off, but it was holding on Trinity. That is declined by Brooklyn, and the teams will head to their locker rooms, this time after football action and not for any sort of weather delay. They do put 20 minutes on the halftime clock. The Brooklyn band was the only band representative here, and the referees on the field are motioning for only 10 minutes. So it's going to be a 10-minute halftime without any halftime interaction or entertainment here this evening. Brooklyn's band marched out of the stadium. Too dangerous out there on the turf and those marching shoes here this evening. So we hit halftime, Trinity on top, 8-6. Double A, your thoughts on the first half?
A lot to take in there for a game that has postseason implications for both teams. You know, Brooklyn right now would be in if the playoffs started today at 16 with the expanded field. Trinity is 1 win out of the postseason field in their region. Something that's interesting, though, as this halftime breaks a little bit shorter here. Trinity is not going back to their locker room. They're only going to go to the corner, which for a shorter halftime is pretty standard for a road team to just go to the corner and stay on the field. Meanwhile, Brooklyn's going to be inside there. Second half, you know what plays you're running. it's the fundamentals. It's okay. How do I take that extra step to make the play that I need to make, that we need to make for the team? And there were some plays on Brooklyn's side that was left out there. You have that opportunity to make those plays, and it's just the simple things. It's the extra effort. Can you come back to the football? Can you make that extra block? Can you do this? Can you do that? And for Brooklyn, there were some plays where you did not see that happen. But meanwhile, they have all the talent in the world, especially with Sullivan running up and down the field as well. So Trinity's going to have to contend with that, and it's going to be a matter of what these coaches on both sides decide to do in the second half to combat this chess match of a football game.
And we will talk more about what that plan could look like. Here we're going to take about a 5-minute intermission here at halftime with your score for your CVC TV game of the week here in Brooklyn, Ohio. The Trinity Trojans 8, Brooklyn Hurricanes 6. This is CVC TV presented by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. We'll be back in 5 minutes for your second half action. And welcome back inside the press box here at Brooklyn High School Stadium here in Brooklyn, Ohio for your CVC TV high school football game of the week. Seeing the Trinity Trojans on top 8-6 over the host Brooklyn Hurricanes at halftime as both teams start to venture out of their locker room areas. Of course, Trinity, as AA pointed out, just stayed on the field down around the 10-yard line on the far side, down to our right. So looking left to right across your device screen that you are watching us on here tonight, or if you are tuning in just to listen to the audio, going left to right, down to our right, Trinity just stayed on the field, didn't go to the locker room space that they were provided here at Brooklyn. Kevin Arnold up here alongside my broadcast partner, AA Anthony Alford, alongside the CVC TV crew in association with LPV Productions. Our production director here tonight, Peter Tellup, producer David Sommerfeld Jr., on cameras, Jim Wagner and Mike Allen, and referees making a signal to the clock operator up here in the booth to put 3 more minutes of warm-up time on the clock. AA, you were mentioning going into halftime, Brooklyn was going to have to figure out some answers because after their first drive, Trinity has had the answer. It looks like Jacob Sullivan is the guy to go to. He's the fastest guy. He's the most athletic guy out there in that rushing attack that's had the most success for Brooklyn. Is the answer. Put the ball in Sullivan's hand and let him run.
Yes, and that's been working so far. The thing is, though, he's a passer. You know, he throws the football. And for whatever reason, the offensive passing game, due to the pressure for Trinity, I shouldn't even say for whatever reason. We know the reason. Yep. Trinity's pressure, bringing it all out, bringing a near all-out blitz, putting Sullivan under duress. And hopefully the message here should be, okay, how can this offense help Sullivan in a pressure situation? Does it have to be from the standpoint of the receivers themselves have to come back to the ball, or does there need to be a hot route, something that we haven't been able to see so far? Excuse me for slipping up on that. It's late.
Hey, you know we always used to say at OMS, words are hard but oh so fun.
That's right.
We used to hashtag that.
That's right. And I guess we just stumbled onto another point here. It's late. And for these teams, and a lot of teams playing around Northeast Ohio due to the storms, it's 9:44 live here on this Friday night. And for a lot of these kids, you know, they've been up since 6 a.m., 6, 7 a.m. with classes and things like that. A lot of waiting around. So it is a sense of who's in it, who's going to be in it to make those critical plays. And for a game like this, with everything that's on the line, the focus is at a huge level, and it has to be for both of these teams.
It does, and Brooklyn will receive the second half kickoff. We're getting word from our production director that there will be actual fireworks. They're still going to shoot the fireworks off after the game. So we will have a quick post-game wrap-up, and maybe we'll let you guys see the fireworks.
We're going to have to. They can't hear us.
Yeah, they won't be able to hear us.
Yeah.
I mean, my mother tells me I'm loud. I don't know that I'm loud enough to go over the type of fireworks that they have here. Like,
is there anyone in the audience that would be like, Kevin, stop lying. You could talk over fireworks.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of people watching tonight.
Somebody who's like, I know AA can.
I'm waiting for the text to fly in just a few moments as Brooklyn's special teams unit is out, ready to receive the second half kickoff. Trinity bringing their special teams unit out. Just looking around the area, some of the other CVC scores before we get started here. Berkshire able to complete their game against Painesville Harvey already. They got the win, a narrow victory, 28-26. Chagrin Falls in the third quarter is beating Ashtabula Edgewood 34-0. We'll get you some more scores as the rest of the second half goes on. But Ryan Trent on to kick this ball away to Brooklyn. Back deep. Looks like Jaden Basinger and Oscar Davis still back deep. Ball will go into the hands of Oscar Davis, picking up at his 10-yard line across the 20, trying to get it out wide here to the near side, and he'll be just ushered out of bounds across the 20 out to the 23, and that is where Brooklyn's offense will take over under the direction of their quarterback and captain, Jacob Sullivan. We were just talking about that coming in off of our halftime break, AA. Probably going to be looking for Sullivan to have the ball in his hands a lot in terms of making the decision to run, maybe getting that pitch, getting some space on the wide side for Basinger, because that's where he's had more of a success rather than up the middle.
Yeah, good point there, Kevin, and we'll see kind of how that materializes. I'm curious if Brooklyn decides to throw it here initially.
So a snap, handoff to Basinger. Good hands there by Sullivan to corral that snap going off to his left-hand side. One-handed corral and gets the handoff clean. A gain of 2 out to the 25, second down and 8.
Yeah, but it could have been more there. You had that mishandle, and Trinity's defense, man, it's just stunning how locked down they have had this defense here. Trinity does not look like a team that's only won one game in this game so far.
No, and defense playing well. We've mentioned Kayvon Robinson-Carter, but that time, another name we've mentioned a lot on defense, Krishan Price, making that tackle. And Krishan Price and Kayvon Robinson-Carter tag teaming on this one to bring Basinger down again. A gain of 1, third down and 7, and already third down and long for Brooklyn. Just no room to run up the middle with this Trinity defense feeling it after that first half.
No, yes, it's just not happening so far. And at some point, something has to switch up, offensively, maybe a play action, something like that, just to kind of switch things up here for the Hurricanes. I mean, really, other than the big run early in the first possession of the game, there's been no flow to this offense. And that's due to Trinity's defense having a solid game plan against this offense.
Sullivan with the snap again. The handoff to Basinger. Flags fly in from both sides of the play. And Basinger got out to the 33, which is where he needed to get to, but a hold will probably push this one back, as you can already see those yellow helmets with the blue jerseys and yellow trim of Brooklyn starting to walk back, and now they wait the call, but the officials are talking with the Trinity sideline. Early indications this penalty against Brooklyn.
I think perhaps the discussion is whether or not they want to accept or to decline the penalty here.
Yeah, because I think it was still going to be fourth down. Instead of putting the decision in the hands of Coach Tim McFarland whether to go for it on 4th and short, they'll back them up and make this a much longer third down play back to the 18-yard line, their own 18. And it'll be a 3rd and 17, 10:23 to go, third quarter, just getting underway in the second half. Trinity with the slim 8-6 advantage and defense flying off the football, all angles. So out come Brooklyn out of their huddle. Sullivan with a few final instructions to Jaden Basinger, off to his left, 2 receivers to either side of the line. Sullivan looking left, going left, over the top, looking for Davis, and good defense to knock that ball away. A much better throw by Sullivan on that go route to Davis, but Sean Fuqua Jr. with great hands to get up and knock that ball away.
Yeah, and just staying stride for stride there. And you can see it with the body language. We talk about it all the time, at this stage. And, Trinity defensively able to make that stop. I think what's interesting, too, and I'm not saying this is an excuse, but because of the weather as well, this was supposed to be senior night for Brooklyn. And that did not – it started, but it did not finish. Senior night is going to happen next week, so perhaps that took a little bit of air out of the home game here.
So Sullivan punts this one away, standing at his own 5-yard line. Collecting that is Aiden Duncan at his 45, and he'll return it right to midfield, a return of 5 yards, and that is where Trinity's first possession on offense will come out. Again, they are led by their senior quarterback and one of their captains Ian Anderson. We've mentioned it a few times tonight. If you are just joining us tonight, got some information from Coach Jeff McSweeney. And I want to say thank you to both schools, both coaching staffs and their ADs, providing us with all of the information to help with our prep throughout the week. And McSweeney was telling me that, yeah, they got some young guys on this team. They're physical, they are hungry, but their quarterback is their leader, and he is the all-time passing leader in Trinity high school football history. So Anderson in the shotgun, flanked by Joseph Provitt. He will throw out here to the near flat. Quincy Haynes on the catch and run down to the 40. A quick gain of 10, a quick burst down, chains move, and Trinity looking to pick up the pace on offense.
And I like this, the sense of urgency there. Good run there for Haynes after the catch, knowing what to do with the football to get the first down.
Anderson takes the snap, looking left again. He will go over the top, and a good grab. Looks like he was able to get 1 foot in bounds. Referees looking at each other, and a catch made at the 25-yard line. See if we get another look at this. We do.
Yeah, we will right here. Let's take a look here real quick. And good footwork, by the way, by Anderson on the throw. Oh, he got that. I think he did. I think he got that second foot in. Good camera work there.
Only needed 1. Got 2 feet in, dragging that last foot. And now a handoff to Provitt up the middle. Inside the 20, inside that red zone, down to the 18. So a gain of 7 on 1st and 10, or a gain of 6, excuse me, 2nd down and 4, and this Trinity offense is rolling.
Yes, they are. They are rolling right now, trying to get their 2nd victory of the year.
Anderson getting his final instructions, giving it out to his receivers, 2 on either side of the line. He's looking right all the time, going for it all in the end zone. He's got a man and dropped in the far corner of the end zone. Looked like Michael Miles dropping that one to the turf.
Yeah, here it is again. And Miles right away. Oh, good. Beautiful football. Beautiful find there. And again, Miles, and, right after that play there, Miles is like, okay, let me go right back to it. And it's just that even though they didn't like what happened there on the drop there, and they know this works. And you get a good ball like that, they go right back to that play.
I like that call on 2nd down as well, to take a shot in the end zone from the 19. 3rd down and 4 now. 8:46 to go. Trinity on top, 8-6. Handoff to McMillan. And he will be stopped shy of a 1st down and dragged backwards. That is another captain and senior defensive tackle, Alex Hernandez, coming up to make a big stop.
Excellent open field tackle to stay right with it. And, okay, things haven't been going the way for the Hurricanes for a little while now. Get one of your leaders to get right back at it and make that play on a critical 3rd down, setting up a even more critical 4th down right here.
So big 4th down for both schools. A 4th down and 1. Ball spotted at the Hurricane 17. Trinity needs to get to the 16. Anderson going under center this time. He'll motion Miles across the formation. Anderson will just take it himself. Gets the 1st down and more. Doesn't get touched to the 2nd level. Inside the 15 at the 13. 1st and 10, Trinity.
The game planning and the coaching, really from almost start to finish for Trinity, has been on point every step of the way. And in that situation, look, if you just needed an extra yard, just get that 1st down, sneak it right through and get it. Spread the defense out, get the 1st down.
So offset I power formation here. They'll go into more of a traditional I formation and hand off to Provitt. Hernandez again coming through, helping out also Oscar Davis. But Hernandez stepping up from his defensive tackle position this half.
Yeah, he is. And again, that's exactly, you just showed it there. That's exactly what needs to happen, for Brooklyn. Turn the tie, and plays like that, it changes the body language. It changes, what, a team thinks and how they believe. And keep it coming if you are the Hurricanes.
2nd down and 12 for Trinity at the Brooklyn 16, 6:52 left on this third quarter clock. Anderson will stay under center. Just McMillan behind him in the backfield. He will fake the handoff to McMillan, rolling out to his left, looking end zone, and then has Miles open, and again dropped a low throw, and Miles' body weight kind of taking him away from the play, but still in his hands and dropped to the turf.
I think when you have a situation here with, both of these teams trying to find a W, simple things, it becomes pressure cooker. It becomes that, okay, you have the talent to pull this off. How can I get out of my own way? And so far, in these situations, it's been tough, and we've been seeing it here in this possession.
Anderson, motioning a man from left to right. He will hand off to Miles. This time he's inside the 5, still on his feet, pushing his way, trying to get to the end zone, just shy of the end zone. Part of his body had crossed the goal line, but the ball being in his backhand, just shy of the goal line.
So how about this? You guys just had 2 critical drops, and the team says, we're still going to give you the football. And you not only get the first down, you nearly score, and putting that belief back in one of your leaders.
So 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Quickly to the line comes Trinity. Anderson under center. Gets the snap. Will try to push his feet in, try to reach the ball across, and signal is touchdown, Trinity. Anderson able to get just enough of that 6-1 frame across the goal line from 1 yard out, and Trinity goes up on top 14-6. 5:59 to go, third quarter.
And just driving there, and we joke every week about the sled, but you even see here on this play, the offensive line, turning their feet down, lower center of gravity, able to get that score in. Anderson pushing through 2 critical short yardage runs for big plays the second time for the score.
And they're going to go for 2 again from that unique formation, and it is good. Right back to Michael Miles. The confidence, the faith in Michael Miles. Ian Anderson connects on a 2-point conversion from 2 yards out, and it is now a 10-point lead for Trinity, 16-6, 16 unanswered since early in the first quarter for Trinity.
And we just watched a young man there, and Michael Miles, the junior, grow in front of our eyes. I mean, to go through adversity the way that he did, had a wide open touchdown drop, had another ball that was on the flat that was dropped. The team said, no. You got this. We're going to go right back to you on the big run and then on the 2-point conversion. We're going to go right back to you. And the way that he clapped that football, and we had it on the replay just now, the way he clapped that football, he's like, dude, I got this. And you get that score. And all of a sudden, you had a missed extra point early in the game by Brooklyn and 2 2-point conversions by Trinity, and it's a 10-point game.
It is a 10-point game as Ryan Trent gets ready to kick this one away for Trinity. You like to see from Miles there kind of some body catches or attempts with the body, more so initially, goes with the hands, gets the faith from his coaches, makes the play, and puts Trinity up by 2. Kickoff going into the hands of Omarion Smith, and he will be dropped just over the 20-yard line at the 22. Great job by that Trinity special teams unit to get down there and get on top of the football, as that was a short kick. Upman tried to pick it up. Smith tried to pick it up and gets dropped. And
you know who made that open field tackle right there? And you heard the coaches up here in the booth from Trinity's side, Robinson Carter. Open field tackle and special teams making a play once again.
Robinson Carter all over Brooklyn right now. One-man wrecking crew on special teams and on defense. So now Brooklyn with 78 yards to go to get a score. and not going anywhere. And then another late flag coming in on the handoff to Basinger. He gained 3, but another hold, and this one will be coming back.
Predictable play calling, to be perfectly honest. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, it's just right now, Trinity knows what's coming. And until things are switched up, this is what's going to happen. I don't know what else to say, at this point.
And Sullivan coming over to get the play call from his offensive coaching staff, looking flustered, and kind of been handoffs to Basinger up the middle, just, pretty traditional, same plays as you mentioned, AA. We haven't seen Sullivan be given the ball and try to get into that open field.
Or a turn to the receiver, slow snap there.
Low snap, Basinger able to pick this one up, making a few guys miss, getting some of that penalty yardage back. On 1st and 19, he gets out to the 20-yard line, a gain of 7. So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 12. A play made out of nothing after that botch snap.
Yeah, but Brooklyn needs a play here that kind of wakes things up, that kind of electrifies the crowd. You have a student section that's stuck around, for this. You got to need something that will electrify the team and the sidelines here. Attempt to go deep a couple times. Give it a shot.
Sullivan hands off to Basinger again, and he's got some grass in front of him. He's across the 40, across the 45, and he will be dragged down at midfield. Hand was in the back. Flag does fly in late. This might be a horse collar tackle, so tacking on some extra yards. But Basinger finally finding some space to get out and get that speed moving.
Yeah, even he was just like, you know what? Maybe you should try to switch something up. They said AA, not today. No, we're going to keep this going, and that penalty's going to stand there for the horse collar. So you got that big play plus an additional 15 yards on the play.
So they're Brooklyn going all the way on one play from their own 20-yard line on 2nd down and 12. Now have the ball with that run out to the 49 and the 15-yard penalty down to the Trinity 36. First time getting into Trinity territory this half. Have to take advantage of this extra field position. Sullivan, again, now flanked by 2 running backs, kind of in a option look. And the ball is loose on the turf, still loose, trying to grab for it. And Trinity comes up with the fumble. Joseph Provitt, Johnny on the spot as that ball was being kicked around, pinballed around, and Trinity gets the key turnover.
Incredible. Again, just a mishandle, miscommunication. Never got the football. Never got it. And Trinity was able to fall on it there after the initial fight. And that's just been a story all night long. There's only been a few plays that have been explosive plays. But overall tonight, just not being on the same page and Trinity taking full advantage. Trinity already up by 10 points here. Quite honestly, Kevin, I'm shocked. Really, to be perfectly honest, just the way that this is played out.
4:18 left. Trinity with the 10-point lead, 16-6, and now bring their offense back on the field off of a touchdown drive. And in that power I formation again. And pitch back, and now that ball is on the turf and rolling around with it. Brooklyn
might get it right back.
Brooklyn might get it right back on the same play as they try to unpile. And Trinity able to get back on it. Provitt, the man who got the fumble recovery, recovers it for his own team.
And it was a high toss, and that cost the fumble, and it was just a matter of who was going to get the football. Just getting that lucky bounce. But, it's just the twists and turns of this game. And if you're the Hurricanes, it was something that you were like, man, you get right back to that football, get another opportunity in short field, close this one out. But Trinity's going to keep the football.
Loss of 8 in that place. It'll be 2nd and 18, 3:36 to go. 16-6 Trinity. Ball at their own 34-yard line. It looks like that was number 26. Don't have him in our roster, so we'll try to get his name on the broadcast as well. Fake the handoff to him. Anderson will throw out in the flat and behind his receiver, Price. And good defense as well. Good blanketed coverage by Omarion Smith. So what looks getting a turnover, having all the momentum, going from 1st and 10 to now 3rd and 18, 3:18 on the third quarter clock.
And this is an opportunity here for Brooklyn. If they can get this stop here on this 3rd down, and again, you have a huge opportunity here on a 3rd and 18. Get this stop, force a punt, get the football back. You built a little something, finally something, from the last offensive drive. So the critical thing is don't let anything get behind you. If you're the DBs, you're Brooklyn, you have the opportunity here.
And Brooklyn's showing pressure. They will try to bring that pressure up the middle. Picked up nicely. And ball falls incomplete, but a flag coming in. Might be some pass interference.
The key's going to be on which side, though, with that PI, though, Kev.
And another penalty as looking right at the Brooklyn team. Some extracurricular conversations from Brooklyn to the referees. Cannot do that. Already down 10. Cannot have those mental mistakes.
And just here's the call. So you had a defensive pass interference.
And the dead ball personal foul penalty for the unnecessary conversations and, letting frustrations out in the wrong way. So now 2 penalties, and this one's going to be walked a long way down the field. That's 30 yards worth of penalties because it was dead ball. It was after the play, so it's going to be an additional 15. And now you had them 3rd and 18, had a chance to get the ball back. Now they get 1st and 10 at your 36-yard line with 3:13 to go, does Trinity against Brooklyn.
This is amazing. Just in the wrong way if you're Brooklyn. It's just you have the opportunities here. But you know how big this game is. And they know. Everybody knows how big this game is. And sometimes you do things that are out of character to get to the destination that you want. This is very out of character so far.
So Anderson in the shotgun, a low snap, picks it off the turf, gives it to McMillan, dancing around, gets inside the 30, right at the 30-yard line. Gain of 6 on 1st down, and a 2nd down and 4. Better job of that Brooklyn defense bottling up McMillan on those jump cuts, but still getting that 6-yard pop.
We talked about with McMillan back in the 2nd quarter when he scored about how smooth he could run, with the football. It seems like he's not delivering any cuts. It's subtle. It's like he lets the running develop.
And he'll stay in the backfield alongside Anderson. Looked like McMillan kind of leaned forward there, early movement. Nothing called, and McMillan will get that handoff, and he will get the 1st down across the 25 down to the 23. Gain of 7, so 6-7 yards a pop, and another 1st down for Trinity.
And if you are Trinity, this might be a dumb moment, but to be perfectly honest, you got to take control right now. You had the pass interference and the other personal foul in there too. If you come away with a touchdown on this drive, if you're Trinity, that'll go a long way to winning this football game.
Anderson in the pistol waiting for McMillan. He'll get the handoff. Somehow able to get that one off. Pressure in the backfield from Brooklyn, but still McMillan delayed handoff and a good run down to the 18.
Well, I'll say this here. Carbello here did his job. His responsibility is the quarterback, whoever keeps that football, to go to the outside. He did his job. He forced the play back inside. Where's everybody else? Where's everybody else to come in to make that play? It just didn't happen. And Trinity, again, getting yards.
Another 6 yards for McMillan, so 1:30 to go, 3rd quarter, leading 16-6. And they have a 2nd down and 4. A miscommunication, so Anderson will take it himself and still picks up a couple of yards on the carry.
Yeah, but that was better. That was better if you're Brooklyn. And that's how you do it there. Again, force that play inside. Your defender should be right there to make the play. Much better than the previous play.
So only a gain of 1, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 3. We've reached the minute-to-go mark here in the third quarter. Brooklyn needing a stop, trying to hold Trinity here to keep it a 10-point game. Trinity trying to basically seal this game away with a touchdown. Anderson, handoff to Provitt, and he'll be met just shy of the 15. They need to get across the 15 to about the 14.5-yard line. So, and we've already seen Trinity go for it. Be short on this play. With 33 seconds left, you have to assume that Jeff McSweeney is going to have his offense stay on the field.
Yeah, most likely here. A good play there by Hoskins, making that open field tackle. And again, another critical moment here for this football game. I will say, Kev, more than likely they're going to roll this thing down.
Yeah, they're walking to their sideline already with 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Trinity happy to go to the fourth quarter, leading 16-6 and control of this football game since we hit that first quarter break. Trinity has been in front, so now it is 16-6 Trinity as we hit our third quarter break. And with a fast-moving and action-packed third quarter, it's a great time to catch up and thank some of our sponsors here for CVC TV. Of course, the main sponsor we need to thank, and we thank them each and every single week and all night long, the presenting sponsor, that is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, with their doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, Jill Weber, Jacqueline Tomsick, specializing in dental surgery, implants, corrective jaw, facial surgery, along with trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. That is www.ohsurgery.com. Cannot thank them. And of course, one of their doctors, the CVC Commissioner, Don Lewis, can't thank them enough for all of their support for this conference, for CVC TV, being able to bring you these live streams again in 2021. And the main support that they give is to these student athletes you see on the gridiron tonight. And if you are interested in sponsoring CVC TV, what's the website that people can head over to, AA?
ChagrinValleyConference.com. You could check that out. Also, on that website, you can see the CVC Athletes of the Week as well throughout all the fall sports throughout the week. So even like cross country, get all that Athlete of the Week throughout the CVC.
So we start the fourth quarter, 4th down and 2 for Trinity. Handoff to McMillan, and he gets the first down, and the chains will move. He gets it all the way down to the 12-yard line, so needed 2, gets 4. Chains move, and better for Trinity. They will run that clock as soon as those chains get set.
Yes, run the clock, and you are in the red zone if you're Trinity. For the Brooklyn defense, this is the moment of truth right here. This is the moment of truth. Again, the winner of this game, you're in the driver's seat for a playoff spot in your region. So, see what happens right here.
1st and 10, Trinity. And pitch goes out to McMillan. Brooklyn has it bottled up. McMillan still on his feet, trying to dance around. He does. Now he gets off to the far side. Flag flies. McMillan churning those legs, reaching for the goal line. Just shy of the goal line. 2 Brooklyn defenders slow to get up. A few flags on the field. We'll await the call, but a heck of an effort by McMillan. And you said it, AA, he just glides and cuts so easily.
Yes, he does. Carmelo's limping off the field there as well. Yes, he does. But we're going to see what the call is going to be.
Probably going to come back, and it does. First penalty is declined, and then it was a personal foul on Trinity as well. So 2 penalties against them.
Yeah, well, let's take a look here, see what happened with that. It was a very late developing play here, of course. They call a face mask. I'm not okay. So the holding, I understand. I'm not sure really what happened there on the other call there.
Yeah, the second penalty, as McMillan was starting to cut to go to the far side of the field. The flag came in here on the near side with a lot of action kind of going on between Trinity and Brooklyn. But it'll go from a 1st and 10 at the 12. They will walk this one back 15 yards back to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not. Kev, did you see something that I didn't see, which is possible? Did you see something that I didn't see there?
I did not see it because my eyes, as soon as McMillan's right foot planted in the ground, my eyes followed McMillan, but I saw out of the corner of my eye, my peripheral, I saw the second flag come from the side judge. So
I believe it was a grabbing it back there or something like that.
So McMillan will get this handoff and going nowhere, going backwards. Better job by the Hurricane defense stretching this play out, but a flag flies again after the play. And you have to wonder, is there talking going on?
It might have been, it might have been a hit out of bounds. They might have considered that a late hit.
So conversation here around the 33 of Brooklyn between the officials. 10:52 left in the game. Clock stopped as we await the call. Trinity on top 16-6. It was a 1st down and 22. Brooklyn again getting the tackle for loss, but may have cost themselves here. Dead ball foul on Brooklyn. 2 dead ball fouls on Brooklyn, and the composure has broken down for Brooklyn because as soon as that flag flew, the referees are still looking at that sideline. You can see senior captain Jacob Sullivan kind of trying to listen in along with his coach Tim McFarland, but just like that,
that's one of those things, though. I'm sorry, Kat. That's one of those things, though. That's sportsmanlike. Yeah, that's just. You can't have the hit that late out of bounds. You just got to know where you're at on the field.
Mental awareness, mental toughness that a lot of these coaches preach, and now there's confusion on where this ball is going to be spotted. So you may have heard over the PA system, ball spotted at the Brooklyn 19-yard line. 10:52 to go, and I believe it'd be a fresh set of downs, or are they just going to?
I think that's what the discussion is going to be right now on the other side. That should be a fresh set of downs.
A lot of conversation going on between the officials, Trinity coaches, and now the officials themselves. Now the head referee, one of his side judges on the far side of the field. Final conversations. He will.
What they have to determine, Kev, is the penalty, was it during the field of play, like during the action, or not? Or, what exactly are they calling? And what are they ruling? Because depending on the rule, it has to be either, play continues or it's a fresh set of downs. I have to imagine it's a fresh set of downs.
That's what I would think as well. So kind of, again, long conversations going on here. Brooklyn coach is still talking to the officials. On the board, it has 1st down and 14, so not a fresh set of downs just yet.
Well, the chain gang here flipped their thing over to. They have a 2. The down marker is a 2 instead of a 1. Okay.
So the play stands, and then the unsportsmanlike conduct just gives Trinity yards. Now this throw from Anderson to Miles is complete, going up the near sideline and in to the end zone. Waiting the touchdown called. Not sure if there was a flag. Flag did fly on the far side.
It's probably going to be another hold, Kev, as that was.
Miles had the space. Don't know if they even needed to do that. So that connection between Anderson and Miles continues to grow, but another holding penalty brings them back. So Back
Kevin,
and forth we go.
Kevin, this has been the longest 10 seconds in the history of sports.
It really has. And we appreciate all of the patience to the audience that tuned in tonight on SugarandValleyConference.com or the CVC YouTube page, waiting through our hour and a half lightning delay. And now, of course, with our game going into getting close to 10:30 at night, almost 2 hours into it, kind of have the patience through the last 10 seconds of gameplay, more like 10 minutes of real time. Anderson will get the snap, hands off to Miles, pushing the pile down to the 10-yard line.
That was interesting there. What happened there just on that play, just the developments. But here's what's at stake, though, too. I mean, for those just tuning in, Trinity got to experience, well, everyone did, but Trinity got to experience playoff football last year for the first time in a long, long time. Brooklyn, they're trying to get back in since 2008, trying to get back in to the postseason. So there's so much at stake here, with 3 weeks left to play.
Snap taken by Anderson and stuffed right at the line. It was a 3rd down and 5 put up on the board, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Drop of 1. Looks like he actually fumbled the snap. So a good awareness there by Anderson to kind of just catch it out of the air and try to make something out of nothing. Brooklyn up to task, coming through, getting that pressure, and a loss of 1, 4th down and 6. Clock continues to tick, 8:57 to go.
Yeah, let's take a look at it one more time, see what happened right here as the clock is moving. And, yeah, that was a little bit of a mishandle there. Back to the live action, Kev.
Anderson with the throw, and in and out of the hands and almost picked off. He was going for Aiden Duncan, so Brooklyn gets the stop on downs, whistles flying.
Do we have another flag?
And now
my goodness, is there a limit on the number of flags? Never mind. I know it has to happen. You got to do it. It's a lot.
Well, we had.
It's going to be Saturday before we all can leave.
We had frustrations flying from the coaches' boxes up here on either side of the press box, and more so the frustration from Trinity. They had the man open, weren't able to connect to put this one away. So Brooklyn gets a chance. They're deep in their own territory. Yes. They have a chance, though.
And that's huge. I mean, no matter through all of that's just happened, Trinity could have put the game away, and Brooklyn still breathes life.
Basinger on the carry, cuts back up the middle, and another flag flies. Most likely a hold, bringing this one back. Tackle looked up near the head, almost looked like he grabbed his face mask, but it'll be a hold on Brooklyn, half the distance to the goal. And just every single time it looks
we might as well keep that flag graphic just up. Leave it up.
Well, David Sommerfeld Jr., our producer tonight, he's looking at us like, I better not have to, but I'm at the ready. Yeah. Our production crew with CVC is among the absolute best. The graphics, bringing in the replay, all the different elements we've been able to bring in this year to CVC TV. That is a credit to our entire production crew led by Peter Tellup, David Sommerfeld Jr., and, of course, the great camera angles you're being provided tonight coming from Mike Allen and Jim Wagner. Outside, almost we're going to be in the elements as Brooklyn takes the 1st and 16 snap, only a gain of 1 across the 5 out to the 6. Just not getting anything going right now.
No, not at all. But, Brooklyn, they're going to keep trying. They're going to keep trying. And, last time, I said abandon it all and just put it up in the air. You had that big run, for Brooklyn. The key, though, is being able to capitalize because, as you can see here, as we come up on 8 minutes to go in this 4th quarter, this is really the last opportunity here for the Hurricanes to kind of work their way back in.
And with 7:56 to go, clock is against you right now. You're deep in your own territory. At some point, you got to put the ball in the air to try to get some chunks of yards. Sullivan hands off again. And just a few yards for Basinger. Not much there. He may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage at the 10. So it'll be 3rd down and 10. Clock continuing to run. 7:30 to go, fourth quarter. Time is of the essence for Brooklyn.
Yeah, it really is at this stage here. And, it is curious why, not seeing anything from the air. You imagine something has to happen here on this 3rd and 10 through the air.
And you can see basically all Trinity defenders up in the box. Sullivan will fake the handoff. He will look for Davis. He's finally got that connection out across the 30, out to the 35. Brooklyn puts it up in the air, and they convert on 3rd and 10, giving themselves more breathing room and continuing the drive. 1st and 10 at the 35, gain of 25 on 3rd and 10.
And wide open there. Davis is their leading receiver for Brooklyn. Again, 171 yards entering into today's game with 3 touchdown catches. So you have a weapon there on the outside if you decide to go to the air if you're Brooklyn.
Ball sitting in the near hash for Brooklyn. Sullivan rolling out to his left. Flag flies, and that one skips through the hands of Davis at the Trinity 46-yard line. And penalty, early indication against Brooklyn. They're already starting to walk back, holding again on Brooklyn. Looked like some early movement as well.
I thought it was going to be early movement, but we didn't see a flag until the hold, Kevin. And again, just anytime Brooklyn gets the – and I even thought on that play, even though it was a miss back over to Davis, I believe, even though it was a miss, I liked the play. But once again, you get the penalty, kill all your momentum.
So from 1st and 10 to 1st and 20, Sullivan, ball on the ground, and that will be picked up by Trinity on the fumble.
My.
Second fumble recovery at the worst time for Brooklyn. On the recovery, that is Ryan Trent.
And another play where you had the mishandle on the carry, not able to get the football, not able to get proper communication, and that has been the story of the game. And Trinity has taken full advantage of that, and Trinity now has an opportunity here to ice this football game and put themselves in position to perhaps, in these next couple of weeks, get themselves in the playoff picture.
And we're talking about that on that last drive for Trinity, but really now with 6:24 to go, Brooklyn still has 3 timeouts, but at this stage, yards have been of the essence, and
we're going to have a false start on the left side of the line, Kevin.
It's been flag or fumble as of late.
That's a good game show. What is it about?
Game show could be. Before you show the highlight clip, it could be flag or fumble. But Trinity going backwards now, and this gives Brooklyn the opportunity. They got them behind the sticks to start this drive. You just have your timeouts. This is the last chance for a last stand. Guys like Alex Hernandez got to step up here to make a play. Anderson under center. He will hand off to McMillan, who cuts up the middle, and he is free. 5, touchdown, Trinity.
And that run had a purpose. The blocking up front had a purpose. Just immediately shooting out of the gap. This is how you know you're getting the football. As soon as you find that block, shoots right up the gap, gets the immediate touchdown, and Trinity, again, going on the board.
So with 6:17 left, David McMillan with his second touchdown of the game. This one from 25 yards out gives them a 22-6 lead, and they come out in their 2-point conversion formation again. Anderson in a shotgun looking over the top, and he has the conversion. That is 3 2-point conversion. Aiden Duncan on the reception. 24-6, Trinity on top of Brooklyn.
Let's go back to the touchdown here, and just the I will say even the blocking up front, it was there. The gaps were created initially. It's just McMillan's just shooting into the gap and just saying, you know what, forget going first level, second level. I'm scoring right now. And then Aiden Duncan, the freshman, getting the 2-point conversion afterwards. Trinity, they were excited the whole way to be here. From the initial pregame, and of course you had the delay, but when we came back out, Trinity was ready to play football from the jump. And it showed in their excitement. You see it right now as they come back out for the kickoff. There's just an extra bounce in their step here for Trinity. And it shows as they try to put themselves in position for the postseason.
So before they kick off, the CVC Conference, the Chagrin Valley Conference, is a proud partner of FRST, First Response for Sports Trauma Course, and of course, Physicians Ambulance. Through this important partnership, FRST has helped prepare our first responders on the sidelines and throughout the league to consistently and expertly respond to trauma on the field of play. Thank you to Physicians Ambulance and FRST for keeping our CVC community safe. For more information, visit the Chagrin Valley Conference website, chagrinvalleyconference.com. Jaden Basinger will pick this one up after kind of fumbling around his 17-yard line, gets it out to the 32, so a 15-yard return, 6:07 left. But Brooklyn down 24-6 to Trinity. Going back to that touchdown run, that 25-yard run from David McMillan. You said it, AA. It was one cut and go.
Yeah.
It was one cut and shut it down.
Yeah, shut it down. Shut it down. You know, John Talent. I ain't going to even say it like that. But it was close. I only say it's close because there is a bit of time here. But we're going to see stuff that we haven't seen all game. And that's Brooklyn. Spread it out wide. You're going to have to go in the air.
Have to go in the air as Sullivan will be all alone in the backfield. He's going to be chased by Kayvon Robinson. Carter tries to trip him up. And for the first time this half, we see Sullivan able to get out of the pocket and use that speed that we saw in the first half. We have not seen called this half.
No, you haven't seen it.
And
what? Go ahead, Kev.
And really, that's out of he's looking downfield. That's just a coverage decision to go. That's not a design run like we saw in the first half. But we haven't seen any of that this half.
Yeah, and to me that's been stunning because going into this game, you know, Brooklyn's passing attack is a very respectable passing attack and something that hasn't been taken advantage of at all in this game so far.
Basinger going in motion will get the handoff, a good cut across the 45, across midfield, and churning those legs down inside Trinity territory at their 48.
And Trinity's going to say, you know what, take that only because, you know, you're more so in a passing defensive formation there. So we're going to have a injury timeout here. The one thing I'll say, though, real quick, though, Kevin, you're in a situation here, if you're Brooklyn, that what are we thinking about here? You know, as far as you got 2 games to go, you know, this is going to be a little bit of a setback for Brooklyn, but the playoffs are still within sight for this team. Something they're going to have to look at. We got to get something going back with the passing game once again because it is a strength of this team that for whatever reason they did not go to tonight.
So down on the field for Trinity, being helped up, walking off under his own power. That is actually LaDon Turner Jr., wearing number 52 tonight instead of number 55. We were informed of that by one of their statisticians up here in the booth. We appreciate Trinity for bringing that to our attention. So good to see LaDon Turner Jr. being able to get off the field on his own. But you were talking about AA. I mean, Brooklyn having to get these yards, and they still have a chance at the playoffs. They come in Division 5, Region 18. They were the 16 seed. And, of course, now after everybody made the playoffs last year, Ohio High School Athletic Association decided to take a look at the playoff format. Instead of 8 teams in every region, it's now 16. So Brooklyn is right there. And Trinity, yes, they only have the 1 win. They're trying to get their second tonight. 5:39 to go. They're doing a great job, up 24-6. But there's teams in front of them that only have 2 wins, so they're well within it. As Sullivan's going deep for Davis, and in and out of the hands of Oscar Davis.
That was a hard hit, too, there, Kev.
It was, and Davis is slow to get up. Sullivan, his best throw of the night.
Yeah, let's take a look here. And finding it, setting his feet, getting the air, but a little bit too much there. Probably just want to zip that a little bit further out. That's just more so with fundamentals. But
now, is that on the throw, AA, or is that, again, what we've seen kind of from both sides tonight, is that attempt letting it get into your body too far instead of making a hands catch, going up with those hands?
I think on the play itself, it might be a little bit more on the throw just because, Davis had to pretty much stop, to make the play. But I attributed it more to just not really going to that all night long. That's more so than anything.
5:31 to go, 2nd and 12 for Brooklyn. Sullivan on the carry across midfield into Trinity territory down the near sideline. Inside the 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Brooklyn, right when they needed it most. Jacob Sullivan telling AA and myself, what game is over? I'm ready to play. I'm going after it. And from 58 yards out, Sullivan with the score down the near sideline.
And the fireworks, second rushing touchdown of the year for Sullivan. He gets the blocks. And credit the receivers for blocking downfield and creating the space. Sullivan barely touched on that run. And he is saying, look, we're right there. There's 5 minutes left in the game, 5:17 left. There's an opportunity here. And Brooklyn trying to close the gap and get back into it.
5:17 left. Brooklyn trailing 24-12 to Trinity. They will go for 2. Low snap across the turf. Sullivan doing a great job of picking it up. And they convert. Heck of an effort from Sullivan. That ball was just snapped back across the turf. They had the man open. He allowed it to open up. Good, strong throw to that far pylon.
Yes, and that was a low snap too. But Anthony Starr right there reaches down, able to make that play. And the Brooklyn Hurricanes fighting to stay in this ball game. Excellent job, those last 2 plays. One thing that we can say about Brooklyn, if they get those big plays, they have converted on the big plays. It's just those sustained drives, and those have been tough to come by. But the big play at the beginning of the game, the big run by Sullivan, the big run by Sullivan just now, they have the talent to have those explosive plays, and that has led to their 2 scores.
5:17 left, 24-14, Trinity on top of Brooklyn. But both teams with all 3 timeouts. Kickoff coming. They're getting their final instructions from their special teams coordinator down there on the field. Do you think we see try a surprise onside kick or some sort of kick to keep Trinity on their heels?
Well, here's the thing with Sullivan. When he kicks off, they're not traditional kickoffs. So the game even opened with what I would actually consider to be an onside kick. It was more of a squid kick. But watch how he kicks the football here. Anything is to be expected, and now Trinity's hands team is ready too.
Sullivan into the ball, across the turf, trying to skip it. Was trying to get one of those bounces up off the turf, maybe skip off LaDon Turner Jr. Good to see him back in the ball game, and good hands there, picking that up at his own 48. So good field position for Trinity, but really their goal right now, keep that rushing attack with David McMillan, even Ian Anderson, Joseph Provitt, keep that going, forcing Brooklyn to take those timeouts and killing this clock with 5:16 left.
Yeah, and I believe on Brooklyn, is that all 3 timeouts they still have there on the scoreboard? It might be close, but this is that opportunity. Can Trinity have that sustained drive? We're going to find out.
As Brooklyn looks like they want to bring pressure, bringing guys up in the box, trying to get guys through, and McMillan just jumping through that ball on the turf. Scramble for the football, flags fly.
I think Brooklyn might get the football.
No sign yet. Might be LaDon Turner Jr. Yes, Turner Jr. Again, those great hands to come up with that football, but penalty on Trinity as well. So
let's take a look what happened here. And just that handoff, which is a good hand. Oh, good rip there. That's exactly what happened there. Alex Hernandez able to rip the football away right there. I have been impressed. I know Brooklyn's been down. I have been impressed with his play. Defensively, he has made a lot of big plays in that position and almost had a game-changing play just now.
And you said about Kayvon Robinson Jr. or Kayvon Robinson Carter for Trinity about him during media day and showing that characteristic. Alex Hernandez during that media day was the same kind of way. McMillan with the catch out in the flat across midfield, and flags fly again.
Yeah, we're going to have Miles is probably going to get the holding on our side here.
And with the speed of McMillan, if you can just get in front of your guy instead of allowing them to get the step, McMillan's going to do the rest of the work.
Yeah, especially, too, considering, and we have seen it with the way this game is played out, everything is going to get called. Everything is going to get called. There's not going to be a situation where a hold is going to be, I didn't quite see it. No, they're going to call it. So you got to play some disciplined football.
Ball spotted all the way back at the Trinity 32. It's a 1st and 26. Bright spot for Brooklyn. Clock stops. They don't have to use timeouts, but bright spot, unfortunately, even with penalties for Trinity, you've taken some time off the clock and you still have first down. You still have 3 plays at least to take some time off this clock or force timeouts to be used.
But I even wonder, though, if you're Trinity, I don't even think about the clock. I don't even think about it. You just go. You just operate. I like this formation. Spread the defense out. They're going to pass here.
Anderson back to pass, send up a screen to McMillan, and he's got space across the 40, out of bounds across the 45 at the 46-yard line. So a gain of 20 on 1st and 26. It'll be a 2nd down and 6.
We'll call a screenplay a run play. I mean, you go with that. I mean, spreading everyone out. You put McMillan out there, behind some blockers and let them go. I mean, that's what you do there, kind of eat up some yards against a softer coverage on the defensive front.
Excuse me, 2nd down and 12 as they were backed up even more that last time on that play. And McMillan blowing through the hole across midfield, getting inside Brooklyn territory. He'll be stopped at the 47 of Brooklyn.
And there was a broken tackle on the play. I believe the defender tried to rip the ball away from McMillan, but he kept it. Let's take a look here. And initially, it was trying to get that initial bounce. But that's been going on all game. McMillan been able to, the yards after contact, being able to get that first, that initial contact and then break through like that. So you've been seeing it throughout the game.
3:49 to go. Clock continues to tick here in the 4th quarter. Trinity on top 24-14, faced with a 3rd and 5 from the Brooklyn 47, taking all of the time off of the play clock. Should be indicated with 5 seconds left from the back judge. Brooklyn showing pressure, getting through, but McMillan able to escape, pushing for that first down, and looks like he may have gotten it. It'll be at the 41. He needed to get to the 42, get 6 on 3rd and 5, and chains move. A key first down, and now you're going to look for Brooklyn to start taking timeouts.
And Trinity has basically said, we're going to turn to our superstars. We're going to turn to our guys, our leaders, as Kevin talked about during the game. What was interesting in that play, Brooklyn had the right play call, blitz that gap. Prevent McMillan from taking off. The problem was that the defender was unable to complete the play on the tackle. McMillan broke it, got the first down.
Under 3 minutes to play. Trinity leading by 10. Brooklyn trying to get the football back somehow, some way. Finally had some offensive success, but David McMillan, and that'll most likely be a face mask as he was dragged down by the front of his helmet. So tack on an extra yardage. McMillan already getting to that second level, down to the 35. They'll spot this one at the 20-yard line.
Yes, they will. And when you kind of see how that's played out, this is exactly what you want from Trinity going forward here. And, again, it's going to be critical here no matter what happens, how you finish this thing off. Can Brooklyn get one more critical stop? Because if they could get another critical stop here, get it within one possession, you have that opportunity. So it is still one of those plays here as we get close to the red zone. Trinity can put this thing on ice. They can score a touchdown precisely before 11 o'clock Eastern p.m.
2:30 left on the game clock. Off to our right. Ball spotted at the Brooklyn 21. Anderson under center. Miles will motion across the formation. Anderson with the snap. He'll hand to McMillan, and this will be blown up in the backfield. Back to the 30-yard line, a loss of 9. And timeout will be taken by Coach McFarland with 2:06 left. So it'll be a 2nd down and 19 out of this timeout, but heck of a play by Brooklyn.
You know who made that critical play there as we go to replay? Take a look at who made this play defensively as we get this thing going here. Open field tackle. Say hello to Jacob Sullivan. From the safety position, going out there on the blitz, making that open field tackle. Saw it coming all the way from deep defensively. And he's saying, hey, I'm going to make the play defensively so we can get the ball back offensively. Good play on his part. Good play call by the Brooklyn coaching staff.
And you've seen Sullivan frustrated this second half as Trinity has found a way to bottle them up until that last 58-yard scamper by Sullivan, but not hanging his head. We talked about some of these mental errors by Brooklyn, even Trinity in this half. That is a guy that is a senior captain taking the role, taking this mantra of leadership seriously and leading by example on first down. Now out of the timeout, 2:06 left. Brooklyn bringing guys up to the line again. Anderson will fake the handoff, and he will roll himself across the 30 and slide just shy of the 25-yard line. So he'll pick up 4 on that play. It'll be a 3rd and 15. Brooklyn with their second of their 3 timeouts taken here. They will have 1 left with 1:57 to go.
Smart play. That's what you kind of have to do there going forward. One thing, though, you got to set your feet there. But nonetheless, though, you're Trinity. You have the opportunity, again, to put this thing on ice on a night that was supposed to be, Kevin, the Brooklyn senior night, until the weather said otherwise. It's still going to have fireworks tonight, though.
Still going to have fireworks tonight, and we will bring you some of those, depending on how quickly they start those once the game ends. We'll do a quick recap. Of course, your CVC TV Game of the Week for high school football brought to you by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. They are the title sponsor of CVC TV this year. Their practice will diagnose and treat your facial pain, injuries, offer you a full range of dental implants, bone grafting procedures. Again, look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all your oral and cosmetic surgery needs. If you need someone to help you out with that, reach out to them at their website, www.ohsurgery.com. That's ohsurgery.com. So out of the timeout, faced with a 3rd and 15, Trinity in their offset I formation. The handoff will go to McMillan, trying to cut back up inside, and good job to bottle him up and quickly take that timeout, only allowing 6 seconds to go off this 4th quarter clock. 1:51 to go. Brooklyn now out of timeouts, but they will face Trinity with a 4th down. Now Trinity has not attempted any field goals on the season, and in this type of territory, you have to imagine Trinity going for it to try to take some time off, maybe taking a shot to end this one.
And here's the thing as well, as you think about this too, because it's 4th down, obviously, the clock stops, turnover on downs here. So there is really no harm, no foul if they decide to throw it up in the air here in this 4th down. If obviously if you don't get it, then the clock's going to stop anyway. So it is critical here. See how it plays out. As obviously this play will determine the game, Kevin.
So we reset things with 1:51 to go. Brooklyn took the 6-0 lead. Then Trinity was 16 unanswered. And now up 24-14. Kevin Arnold alongside AA Anthony Alford in the CVC Metro Division matchup between Brooklyn and Trinity. Anderson will put it up in the air. They will set up the screen to Private, getting a block in front of him. And good open field tackle by Brooklyn coming up to make the stop and turn the ball over on downs. Not sure who was able to come up on and get that tackle.
I think Amari Smith was one of them there. Let's take a look at how it happened here. I thought, good play call here, but going to the outside, creating that traffic. It was actually Anthony Starr there with the tackle, open field tackle as well.
Yeah, and Jackson Diller also coming up. And he's had a couple big plays in the backfield, but haven't called his name much since that first half. But Brooklyn giving themselves a chance. No timeouts. 1:43 to go. 81 yards to go to try to get the touchdown, but they are down 2 scores, 24-14. 1st and 10. Sullivan with the snap, trying to avoid the defender. He will just throw it up and throw it away to live for another down. Looked like LeJohn Woods could have made a play on that one, but the ball floating out of bounds. Sullivan, the senior captain, just throwing that one away just to give himself and his team another chance.
Well, I'll tell you where the play was made for sure. It was up front. The Trinity defensive line creating that pressure, driving Sullivan, to his left, forcing him to his left, and limiting the field only to the very part of the sideline.
2nd down and 10 at their own 19. 1:36 to go. Sullivan fakes the handoff to Jaden Basinger. He's looking deep. He will throw deep. Has a man and not able to connect. Good coverage. David McMillan now playing defense, running the route with the receiver. That was intended for Jordan Fugaruz down around the 40-yard line of Trinity. So probably going to be looking for another deep play here. They got to get chunks of yardage because you're down 2 scores. You got to score once, get the ball back, and score again.
And we had a holding penalty, I believe, there as well.
So a late flag coming in. So Brooklyn shooting themselves in the foot this entire half and now making things more difficult on themselves. You go from 2nd and 10 to, looks like it'll be ball spot at the.
That makes sense. It was
Yep,
a decline penalty.
The penalty, so it'll bring up 3rd down for Brooklyn, 1:26 to go. Smart by Coach McSweeney for Trinity. He knows they got to go the length of the field, so even if they were to pick up a few yards here or even pick up 10, they don't have any timeouts. Stop them in the field of play. You can really allow that clock to run on defense. Sullivan, 2 receivers to his far side and near side. He will roll out to his left. Got to throw across his body, and he was running up the sideline. He stepped out of bounds, luckily, before he threw that football because he was getting close to that line of scrimmage.
I think he passed it, to be perfectly honest. We'll see. We'll see.
Line of scrimmage, the 19.
Mm-hmm. Running on the left side, and he's at the 23 when he throws the football. So he stepped out. That was for the best. But Kevin, here we go. 4th down.
4th down and the game. No timeouts for Brooklyn, trailing 24-14, trying to keep that 16th seed in Division 5, Region 18. Trinity trying to get their 2nd win of the season and jump up in the standings in Division 6, Region 21. Sullivan in the shotgun, back to pass. Will fake the pass, trying to get away. He will lateral that, And Trinity comes up to make the play, and it looks like the Trojans from Trinity High School have secured their second win of the season.
An impressive win, an impressive stop, and the man left standing for Trinity, Kevin Robinson Carter, and one of the guys there making a play there, Biggs as well, making a stop. And give credit to this Trinity football team. They had all the reason in the world to come in and just play out the string. They wanted it. They wanted it bad. And from start to restart to finish, they did exactly that, Kevin.
They did, and weren't able to find offensive success early, but what kept them in this game was their defense. And we've mentioned Kayvon Robinson Carter. We've mentioned Michael Miles. Someone else you got to give a lot of credit to who made a couple big plays on that last drive to not allow Brooklyn to get anything going. Krishawn Price, who's made big plays defensively all night long, kind of the X factor, adding in, making it a big three on defense. And Trinity finding that rhythm on offense. They did not have their leading rusher, Caleb Moss, tonight. Didn't matter because David McMillan stepped in, filled the shoes, and how this evening. So with 1:10 to go, the best formation in football, if you are on the better side of the scoreboard, that is victory formation. Couple knees from Ian Anderson. The senior quarterback will seal this one away. 55 seconds to go. Trinity 24, Brooklyn 14 on what would have been senior night, of course, with the lightning delay. Doesn't matter how you got there, though. Trinity will take this one, their second win of the season, any way they could get it, battling through so much tonight.
Yeah, and kudos to the kids, for Trinity. Again, they have so much to overcome here. You go this deep into the season, you only have one W. And it gets tough. It gets tough, especially when your last games were blowout losses. You get a critical win on the road. Congrats to the Trinity Trojans for pulling it off, from restart to finish.
So as we tick under 5 seconds left, both teams already lining up for the handshakes. And clock has hit triple zeros, and it is official. Trinity with their second win of the season, topping the Brooklyn Hurricanes on the road, 24-14. And we will do a quick recap before the fireworks start as both teams meet at midfield for the handshakes. You said it, Double A. Give a lot of credit to Trinity. Well, only with one win, a team that talked before the season. They got their first playoff win since 2008 last year. Yes, every team made the playoffs, but they took advantage of that opportunity, and they wanted to build on that this year. They haven't done that, but they've still given themselves a chance. They get their second win, and more importantly, they get playoff points tonight. On the other side for Brooklyn, a team that was looking to go to 500 tonight, sitting at 3-4. They'll drop to 3-5. Of course, the Trinity Trojans 2-6. We talked to the AD before the game. Another group that has gone through a lot of adversity this season. They are so proud of these kids of how much adversity they've gone through. Facing another adverse situation. Got to do stuff in the last 2 weeks to make the playoffs. But you got to have faith in that group, too, for what they've gone through and what we've heard about. This group going through all season, both of these teams battle-laden and going to be tough teams. If they make the playoffs, they are going to be tough teams for any of those top seeds in their region.
Well, we see it each and every single week. I mean, there's a reason why the Chagrin Valley Conference is one of the best conferences in all of high school football here in Ohio. It's because from top down, from top to bottom, there's so much solid, really, really good talent, and you do see it every single week. So real quick, for Trinity, a team that was excited to be here. It was excited to play, and defensively, they limited the rushing attack for Brooklyn and basically made the passing attack for Brooklyn non-existent. And they were able to figure things out, Trinity was able to take full advantage of things and was able to get big scores on their front. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, they got some things to figure out. I thought there were some things that they did today that I don't know if it was of character of the Hurricanes, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if, and you do wonder with these kind of games, what happens when you have delays like this, what could happen. So I want to see how Brooklyn bounces back next week in their matchup with John Hay, which will be their senior night next week. We'll see how they bounce back. And for Trinity, next week they're on the road again against Wycliffe, but that's another winnable game. Wycliffe coming in tonight 1-5, so Trinity might form a little win streak here to kind of end their regular season and put themselves in postseason position.
Yeah, definitely a winnable game there for Trinity on the road. Get a road win tonight. Could get another one next week. Wycliffe, I know, was losing 26-0 in halftime against Independence, but did not get a final score update before the end of our broadcast tonight. But Trinity will be going in with a lot of confidence. Brooklyn trying to get a win on their adjusted senior night next week against John Hay and keep themselves in playoff contention. As you see some of the student body on the field probably getting ready for fireworks. Of course, it was a breast cancer awareness night. You see a lot of the players, the student bodies, whether here at Brooklyn or across Northeast Ohio, donned in pink. Of course, October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we send our thoughts and prayers out to anyone dealing with breast cancer and to those that have overcome or those that have lost anyone from breast cancer. Those are the types of things that remind you what life is really about and how precious it is. But all for a good cause tonight, and saw a great game here tonight on CVC TV here at Brooklyn. But your final score tonight, Trinity comes on the road, gets their second win of the season, going to 2-6. They win 24-14, dropping Brooklyn to 3-5 on the season. For our entire crew here on cameras, Mike Allen, Jim Wagner, our producer tonight, David Summerfeld Jr., our production director, Peter Tellep, to my broadcast partner, AA Anthony Alford, who will be on the call next week with Jake Underwood, West G, and Chagrin Falls. I will be on assignment next week. Thank you so much to all of them tonight. I'm Kevin Arnold, reminding all of you guys to have a great evening. Again, your final score, Trinity 24, Brooklyn 14. This has been your CVC TV Game of the Week, presented by the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery on ChagrinValleyConference.com and the Chagrin Valley Conference YouTube channel. Good night, everybody.